And Michael, Hlaudi Motsoeneng has concluded his testimony, as I was saying. What did he have to say on his last day?
Well, hi Timbukile. It's been a reiteration of what he said on, well, a lot of day one and day two, actually. He's reiterated the fact that he never purged any staff, he didn't have the power to do that, that he didn't outright ban any visuals of violent protests back in 2014, that controversial decision, that he instead only wanted journalists within the SABC to report responsibly, and he said that they, as the SABC and public broadcaster, have a commitment and they have an obligation to educate, and if in educating the public you are showing them burning buildings, he says that it's a very bad precedent to set for people, and that he used gun violence, saying movies where children watch and they see a lot of gun violence, they want to get guns and carry out what they see on television. So he said the violent protests, he made a decision that it was in the best interests of the public not to show them that, as it would encourage further violent protests and service delivery protests. He has once again said that when he left the SABC, he left it in a very fluid financial position. It was in the black. It had 831 million rand in cash, and that you only need about 600 million by his estimates to run the SABC. He says that was more than enough money to be able to pay all the staff and content producers. So he has painted a picture where all the allegations that have been made against him about his tenure at the SABC, that he was a bit of a tyrant, a bit of a dictator, whatever he said had to go. If you spoke up, you were victimized, you were gotten rid of. The testimony of the SABC 8 springs to mind. All of that is somehow a conspiracy, in that none of it was within his power to do a lot of the things, to remove people, to hire people irregularly. He says that simply wasn't within his power. He has concluded his evidence with an appeal from his legal counsel to say that he has taken issue with the way in which media houses, this one included, are reporting on him. He has raised that objection with Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo.
We've got now Lawrence Kruger, who's dealing with the issue of digital migration. Has he shed any new light on why it's taken so long to get the ball rolling?
Look, this was a highly technical piece of testimony. It was about the background to what informs our policy on digital terrestrial television, DTT. A lot of South Africans will know it as, you need a set-top box. It's something that'll convert your analog signal into digital. More than that, Timbukile, it's difficult to tell you, except that Mr. Kruger said that there was an agreement that was signed between the SABC and MultiChoice, that Mr. Hlaudi Motsoeneng signed, which would have stopped, on my understanding, and I speak under correction, as I said, this is all highly technical stuff that flew over a lot of people's heads, mine included, to stop the SABC from implementing the set-top box or DTT, digital migration policy. This, of course, flying in the face of what the Department of Communications and the national government has been saying, I think, as far back as 2004.
Michael Apple at the State Capture Inquiry, thank you.